Morning. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Today, we're going to go ahead and talk to you all about the four things that you never want to do if you have bad credit. Okay. Especially if your credit scores are under 600. Let's go ahead and get right into number one. Okay. So, number one is going to be paying, okay, that's going to be paying a debt consolidation company. Okay. So now the reason why you don't want to do a debt consolidation, the reason why you don't want to do a debt consolidation, well, for one, you can do a debt consolidation, but you don't want to have a company do the debt consolidation for you. Okay. The reason why you don't want to have a debt consolidation company do it for you is because most debt consolidation companies, they really try to talk you into a few different things. Number one, most debt consolidation companies are going to try to have you file bankruptcy. Okay. Now, it's nothing wrong with filing bankruptcy in most cases, but for many of you, you don't need to go through a company to tell you that you need to file bankruptcy. So they'll say, hey, you got a lot of debt. We can go ahead and consolidate that for you. We can call the companies, we can make arrangements. I'm not saying that those companies don't work, but 95% of debt consolidation companies are a trap. Okay. They are a trap. So, knowing this, number one, they're going to try to talk you into bankruptcy because that's the goal for them. Number two, you could end up paying more. Okay. You could end up paying more. So, let's say, for example, that you have about $5,000 worth of debt, 10,000, 15,000, whatever that number is. And so the debt consolidation company says, well, we'll go ahead and start making arrangements with the people that you owe money to. But at the same time, we're going to charge you on the back end. That's how they make money. Okay. You pay them, they pay your bills. Here's another problem that a lot of these companies have. Number three, is that many of them don't pay the companies, the companies on time. Many of them don't pay the companies on time. You know, 9 out of 10 people that have done debt consolidation loans, 9 out of 10 people, many of them that I've seen, they've been in situations where they end up not only owing more, like we talked about for number two, but they end up paying, they end up having lower credit scores, late payments because the companies never paid off the other companies. They never paid the credit card companies. They never paid the companies that were supposed to get paid. And so that's the problem. Okay. So again, so now what do you do? So if I'm not supposed to use a debt consolidation company, by the way, guys, I'm using a different microphone. So let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Put a one in the chat, in the comments, if you guys can hear me. Put a number one inside the comment section if you guys can hear me. Okay. So I'll check that in a little bit. So what are you supposed to do then if you're not supposed to use a debt consolidation company? Let me show you what you're supposed to do. Okay. This is going to give you better options. Okay. So instead of having a debt consolidation company do it for you, what you want to do is number one, you want to call the companies yourself. So essentially, here, let me say that better. You want to call the creditors yourself. So you want to call the creditors. Okay. Why do you want to call them? They would rather hear from you directly than to hear from an attorney or someone calling on your behalf. They would much rather speak to you. And so if you have $5,000 worth of debt, they'll let you know that you can settle with them. They'll let you know that you can close out the account and then make a payment arrangement. They'll let you know if you're like American Express, where they shut the account down, you pay them off and they turn the account back on. But again, you have to call them. That's what these debt consolidations, quote unquote, debt consolidation companies, that's what they're supposed to be doing. But these financial institutions, these banks, these credit unions, whomever you owe, they would much rather speak to you. I'm telling you. So you want to call the creditors. Number two, you want to do a settlement. You want to do a settlement. A lot of people sleep on settlements. Why is it that people sleep on settlements? I'll tell you why. Because people think that if they go with a settlement, it looks bad on their credit report. It does not look bad on your credit report if you go with a settlement. You know who cares about you having a settlement on your credit report? I'm going to put it right here. Who cares? Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares if you have a settlement on your credit report. As a matter of fact, a settlement looks better. I want you to think about it like this. A settlement looks better if you say, hey, I owe a company some money. I didn't pay them for whatever reason, but now I've paid them. I have changed. See, a lot of times when you're applying for things and you have bad credit or you've had bad credit in the past, you have to show banks why they can trust you now. They need to see proof that they can trust you now. They hear what you say. They hear you said, hey, listen, I've changed. Show me that you've changed. This shows them that you've changed. Okay. Now, with most credit card companies, when you do a settlement, guess what they're going to do? They're going to close out the account. They're going to close out the account. Is that a bad thing if they close out the account? It is what it is. Some of you all are letting these banks control you. Listen, guys, it's okay that, if you need to close out an account because you're in a position financially where you can't pay them. Okay, it's okay to do that. Okay, it's okay. Somebody put in the comments, it's okay to close them out. All right. So I'm telling you, that's going to be the case right there. All right. So now let's move on to the next topic. To the next piece. So you call the creditors, you make a payment arrangement. What do you say when you make a payment arrangement? You say, hey, I owe you X amount of dollars. I'm not in a position to pay that right now, but here's what I can pay. Or can we work out a settlement? Can we work out a payment plan? Can we work something out? Do you have a hardship? Okay. And when you ask them those things, they're going to say, hey, let's see if we can work something out. Let's see what we can put together based on your income or based on how much you owe or based on how much you're able to pay us every single month. The worst case scenario is they're going to close out the account. Who cares? Let's move on. Okay. That's all debt consolidation companies do. How much do you have to pay yourself to do that? How much does this cost you? This costs you nothing if you do it on your own. They would rather hear from you. Most of these debt consolidation companies, they drag their feet on getting information back to you. By the time they get the information back to you, in most cases, not all, but most that I've seen, 9 out of 10 people that work with a debt consolidation company, they end up having late payments on their credit report. All right, you guys got that, right? Now let's move on. Okay, so we're not going to be using debt consolidation companies. Well, the question is, Calvin, okay, if I'm not using a debt consolidation company, what other options do I have? Let me show you. You can also do a debt consolidation loan. You can apply for a debt consolidation loan. Let me show you all what that looks like. And by the way, guys, if you guys haven't downloaded here, before I show you guys this, so here, right here at the bottom of this screen, you can download, you go and scan this QR code right here, and you can download my free credit guide. Go ahead and download the free credit guide if you haven't done so already, or you can text the word guide. Okay, text the word guide to the number below so you guys can get that free credit guide. Let's keep going. All right, so now here's what this is going to look like. This is I'm going to give you guys a list of banks as well. Okay, so this is it right here. Let me move myself out the way. Oh, there we go. Give me a second to make sure I can move myself out the way. There we go. All right. Give me a second, guys. I'll just hide the camera. All right, there we go. You guys can still hear me. All right, so check this out. This is it right here, guys. This is it. If you need to apply for a debt consolidation loan, this is a great option for you. This is a good option for you guys. Okay, so here, let me bring this down so you guys can actually see it. So this is it right here. you can get up to $75,000. You can get up to $75,000 with no impact on your credit score. You can get up to $75,000 with no impact to your credit score. Okay. Now, how it works is you can scan the QR code. I'm gonna put the link inside the chat too, so you guys can see it. I'm gonna put the link right here inside the chat. Okay, now this is just one option. I'm gonna give you guys some more options. I'm gonna give you guys some more options in a second. But the reason why I'm giving you guys this option is for a couple reasons. Okay. Oh, like there's an issue with YouTube chat. Okay. All right. So here, I'm gonna see if I can't see what you guys are typing inside of YouTube, but don't worry. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see that. Okay. So all right, let me go back. All right, you guys got that? Perfect. All right. So now let me go ahead and stop sharing that. Okay. Let me go back. Oh, my bad. Hold on. That was a different mode. Let me go back here. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm back. Okay, so now check this out. So we got it, right? So number one, that number one, that company is Upstart. Okay. So I'm gonna put it up here. Upstart. Now, the reason why I recommend Upstart is because you can get up to $75,000. Most personal loan companies are going to stop at 30,000, 40,000. Some may even stop at 50,000. Okay. But Upstart, you can go up to 75,000. That means you can put your car in there. You could put multiple credit cards in there. You could put other personal loans in there. Some of you all have student loans and they're at different interest rates. You could put those in there. This is how you truly consolidate your debts. This is how you consolidate it, guys. Okay, that's how you consolidate it. So that's number one. Here now, also too, I'm gonna write down these options, and these options don't affect your credit. Well, let me rephrase that. These are a soft pull, which means that there's no impact on your credit to see if you can get approved. If you decide to move forward with them, then they will do a hard pull. Okay, you guys got that? All right. So now we're gonna go ahead. The number two, I'm gonna just write the second one down. Number two is going to be SoFi.com. Okay, this is another company that you can get a personal loan and you can consolidate your debts. Well, Calvin, I have $20,000 worth of debt and they only gave me a $10,000 loan. It's better than nothing, but make sure the numbers work out. I'm not saying go do this, you get approved and the numbers don't work out. What does that mean when I say the numbers don't work out? What I mean by if the numbers don't work, that means that, let's say, for example, you are paying $600 a month on all of your debts. You get a personal loan. Now your monthly payment is $900 a month. Now, $900 a month would make sense if you have a shorter term and you can pay your debts off faster. But $900 versus $600 doesn't make sense if the time is going to be the same. So don't do this if the numbers don't work. Somebody put in the comments, the numbers have to work. Okay. So now here, for some reason, I'm not able to see your comments on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to disconnect and reconnect, but not on this one. So I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up on my phone just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. But either way, guys, make sure you guys go ahead and download this free, my free credit guide. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen, or you can text the word guide to the phone number 708-346-5613. Number three is going to be Avant.com. Avant.com. For all my R&B lovers, I'm not talking about Avant the artist. I am not talking about Avant the music artist. Great music, by the way, for those who remember the 2000s R&B. Okay, I'm just putting this on so I can see the chat, because I can't see the chat right here, guys. I do apologize. And so let me see if I can pull it up on my, give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. So give me 1 second, because now I don't need this screen anymore. No, it may make the stream go crazy. So never mind. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to do it this way. You guys with me? So Avant.com. Number four is going to be, let's see if you guys can see this. Okay. You guys can see it. Let me move this over real quick so I can make sure you guys can see everything. Okay. There we go. All right. So now the next one, number 4, is going to be Happy Money. HappyMoney.com. I know what you guys are thinking. Why do they have that name? I don't know why they have that name. The other name was better. This is Payoff. It used to be payoff.com. Now they call themselves Happy Money. I don't know why. To me, this sounds more scammy, but hey. But anyway, they'll have it as well too. This is another loan company that you can go with, okay? And it's a soft pull, which means you can apply on. Let me give you guys the hack. You can apply at all 4 of these options. And let's say that SoFi gives you the best terms, okay? When you decide to move forward with SoFi, then they're going to do the hard pull. That's how you play this game. That's how you do this hack. You apply at all 4 of these. There are more companies too. I'm gonna give you a few more, okay? But you apply it. You can apply at all of them. You can apply at 6 companies, 8. There is no maximum amount of companies that you can apply for because they're all soft pulls. You guys got these? If you got these, put in the chat. Put yes if you got these. Let's go to the next one. So we got 1 through 4. I'm going to keep going until I can't remember anymore, but we're going to go to number 5. Number 5 is going to be, now this is American Express. So I'm going to put Amex Personal Loans, which means now you do not have to have a checking account. You do not have to have a business checking account. You do not have to have a relationship with American Express. You do not have to have a credit card with American Express to apply for an American Express personal loan. It's a soft pull, which means it will not affect your credit to show you if they can approve you, what the interest rate is going to be, what the term is going to be, and what the monthly payment is going to be. That's number 5. Number 6. Now, I got to check and see if they still do this. I'm not 100% sure because they got bought out by Capital One, and that's Discover Personal Loans. Okay, Discover Personal Loans. Okay. Now, with Discover Personal Loans, it's the same thing. You don't have to have a Discover credit card. You don't have to have a Discover bank account. You don't have to have a Capital One account. You don't have to have a Discover relationship to apply for a Discover personal loan. It's a soft pull. Okay, it's a soft pull. Next is going to be, it's so many companies, okay? Man, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna stop here just so you guys don't think you have to keep applying for all these companies. So I'll just stop right there because there's at least about 5 more. Okay, there's at least 5 more. We're gonna leave it right there. But that's all you got to do. You do that with a debt consolidation loan company. I mean, you don't have to get with the debt consolidation loan company. You could do it on your own. Okay. So make sure you guys go and download the free credit guide. Scan this QR code right here. Listen, there are things in my free credit guide that you can do right now to increase your credit score. There are things that you can do. There are steps that you can take right now inside of my free credit guide that will show you how to increase your credit score right now. Okay, so I'm just letting you know you can get that for free. All right, next, let's go to the next piece, guys. Let's go to the next piece. All right, so I gave you guys some debt consolidation alternatives. Okay, let's keep going. So now, let's say, for example, you said, well, Calvin, I have extra money. Okay, I got a little bit of extra money. I got a Christmas bonus coming up. I'm getting some of this settlement money that everybody's talking about, right? So what do I do if I got some extra money coming in? Let me show you what one of the mistakes that people are doing. So mistake number 1 was going to a debt consolidation company. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, people that get some extra money, what do they start doing? You shouldn't do this. They go get a trade line. For those who don't know, I'm gonna break down what a trade line is and why I'm not that big of a fan of the way to do it if your situation is this. They go get a trade line. Let me tell you why this is a problem. Let me tell you why this is a problem. It's nothing wrong with having a trade line in general. First off, let's break down what a trade line is, because you have what the technical term is with credit reports, and then you have what we have now turned it into. So a trade line technically is any account on your credit report. If you have an auto loan, if you have a credit card, if you got a personal loan, those are all trade lines in the technical credit reporting term. Now, but people, you know how we do it. We say, hey, what are you going to blow your nose with? Oh, well, I use Kleenex. Kleenex is a brand. Okay. What are you gonna clean out your ears with? I'm gonna use a Q-tip. No, no, no. You're gonna use a cotton swab, but Q-tip is the brand. So people say, well, what are you gonna do to increase your credit score when you get some extra money? I'm gonna go buy a trade line. I'm just letting you know the technical terms. But anyway, so a trade line in today in the I would say the consumer term is, hey, I'm gonna be an authorized user on someone's credit card. Let me tell you this. It's nothing wrong with being an authorized user on someone's credit card. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay. I'm going to just make the problem list here. The first problem is people, they end up paying for it. That's the first problem. Let me tell you something. You have friends, you have family, you have kids. Some of you all have kids 18 years old or older. They can get a credit card. You can add yourself to that credit card. You can even manage it for them if you wanted to. And this is, I'm telling you, you don't have to pay for it. You know why? Because, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hear. Listen, if you've already paid for one, I'm gonna tell you guys why it's not the end of the world. Okay, I don't want to make you guys feel bad, but you're gonna see where I'm gonna tie this into in a second. Okay, so one, when they end up paying for it, a cheap trade line is about $400. That's a cheap one. Watch where I'm going with this. So you end up paying for it. Number two, whether you pay for it or not, what's the second biggest mistake that people make with a trade line? They don't check the payment history. They don't check the payment history. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I had a client where she says, hey, listen, I need to buy a house and my credit score is not the best. So for those who don't know, we can look at your credit report, okay? We can look at your credit report and tell you exactly what you need to do based on what your goal is. Her goal was to buy a home. So we looked at her credit report. We told her exactly what she needed to do. She then started following the steps and the score started going up. She said, one of her friends said, why don't you just go ahead and just do piggybacking on someone's credit card? Essentially being a trade line, should be an authorized user. Nothing wrong with that. Here's the problem. You know, her friend didn't tell her. I'm going to tell you what her friend did not tell her: to check the payment history. You got to check the payment history, guys. What do you think happened because she didn't check the payment history? What do you think happened? Put it in the comments. What do you think happened? What do you think happened when because she didn't check the payment history? Put it in the chat. Sorry, I can't see it. Let me see if I can try to see this on my phone, because I know y'all be going crazy. But let me see here. Oh, let me mute this. Okay, good. All right. So let's see here. All right, good. I can see a little bit. I can see a little bit of it. All right, perfect. Let's see here. Travis Bisman in the house. Good stuff. Chase credit card, let you pay. Yep. Okay. All right. So here we're gonna. Oh, okay. You guys got some great questions. Okay, good. So here I'm gonna go back through. These questions when I get done with this segment. Okay. But here's the thing. What do you guys think happened? What do you guys think happened? What do you guys think happened? Because she didn't check the payment history. You guessed it. There were late payments that was on that account. There were late payments that was on that account that then got added to her credit report. That's what ended up happening. Okay. So you got to check the payment history. Oh, by the way, so since it was actually about 3 late payments out of 48 payments, 3 of them was late. And those 3 late payments happened in the last 12 months. So not only did we give her a game plan and she started following those steps and her credit score started going up, but she took some advice from somebody. that didn't give her all of the requirements. I'm gonna give you the rest of the requirements in a second. And now those 3 late payments that happened in the last 12 months, it dropped her credit score. Okay. So again, you got to make sure you're checking the payment history. Number three. Number three. What's the next thing you got to check? The balance. The balance. Why does this? Well, really, I'm sorry, not just the balance. It's really the balance and the limit. What does that mean when you look at the balance and the limit? What does that mean? Let me see if you guys know what that means. What does that mean when you're looking at a credit card balance and you're comparing that to the credit card limit? What is that called? That's called utilization. You take the balance and you divide it by the limit. Let me give you an example. Let's say that your credit card limit is 1,000. Okay, it's 1,000. But the balance is 700. So you take the balance and you divide it by the limit. When you take the balance and you divide it by the limit, what do you get? You get utilization. So 700 divided by 1,000 is what? 700. I'm sorry, 70%. So in that example, that would be too high. So you don't want utilization over 10%, preferably. If you get added to someone's credit card and they have a utilization over 30%, your credit score is going to go down. Let me say that again. If you get added to someone's credit card, doesn't matter if you know them, you don't know them, you just met them, whatever. And that utilization is over 30%, it's 50%, it's maxed out. Some of you all are on credit cards right now that are maxed out. 50% of the credit reports that my company sees, I'm telling you, my team says it all the time. They say, man, look at this. People are on, they're authorized users on credit cards right now. And the balances are high, they're too high. People have credit card debt. So if people have credit card debt, that's probably the number one debt right now. Because everyone that owns a home more than likely has a credit card. But everybody that got a credit card don't own a home. So that's one of the number one debts is credit card debt. And some of you all right now are on someone else's credit card thinking it's increasing your credit score. And it's not. Okay, y'all got that? Y'all got that? What's the next thing you want to look at? So you look at payment history. We look at balance. Let's look at number three. Now, number three is it plays a role. It does play a role because that's the whole point of being an authorized user. And that is going to be the age. Okay. So the credit card age. Okay. So the short version is the older it is, the better. So we're going to put that. The older equals better. Okay. The older the credit card is, the better it's going to be for you to be on that credit card. So if you have a mom, a dad, a sister, brother, whatever, and now here's the thing, don't just get on someone's credit card just to be on someone's credit card, okay? The reason why I don't like being like authorized users is because a lot of times there's no control. There's no control. So like, and if you keep it close to home, then you got a little bit more of a say so. For example, if you're an authorized user and it's your sister, because holiday season's coming up. This is why I'm telling you guys this. See, a lot of these people that's in the credit industry won't tell you guys these things. They're trying to sell you a trade line. I'm not knocking them. Do your thing. But here's the thing. You have no control. And if you don't have any control, let me show you an example. Let's just say that you're on someone else's credit card and they have we're going to go utilization percentage. They're at 10% utilization and we're in October. We're about to go into the shopping holiday season. So they start using their credit card. They say, I got a Christmas bonus coming in December. I got this money coming in December. I got some money dropping in November. I'm hearing everybody's getting checks from Amazon. I'm hearing everybody's about to get checks from TransUnion. So I'm going to spend this money right now. It's my credit card. Then they take that utilization to 70%. Some of you all are thinking, well, man, that's a lot of money they got to spend. How you know that they'll do that? Let me give an example. If a credit card has a $1,000 limit, it don't take much to get to 70%. We're talking $700, right? Why am I showing you this? Because do you think your sister's going to call you before she uses her credit card? Do you think your friend is going to say, hey, you think this is okay if I use 70% utilization on my credit card? Do you approve that, friend? You think they're going to call you for that? You think the person that you paid to be on their credit card trade line, you don't even know them. That their job, that they have a government job and they don't know if they're going to get paid or not. So they just quit their job and they say, I'll just live off of my credit cards between now and my next paycheck. I know I can get another job in the next week or two. You're on their credit card. I got, here's a listen. I'm not even going to tell you the worst news. The worst news is some of these banks give you a hard time removing yourself from the credit card if you are not the account holder. I'm gonna move on from this. You guys got it by now. Again, if you just want to be an authorized user, that's fine. But have a look, try to position yourself to where you have a little bit of control. Just a little bit of control. Is this good information? Yes or yes? Let me know in the chat. We're going deep today. Okay, we're going into all this today. All right, let's go into the next thing. So, all right, so now I said I was going to answer some of the questions that I saw in here. I want to make sure that we don't miss anything here. So now going back to, there's a question that someone had in here. Is there life after bankruptcy? Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll do that video coming up this week. Okay, so we'll talk about life after bankruptcy. Yes, it is. But here's the thing. If you download my free credit guide, there's some things that that you can start doing right now, right out of a bankruptcy. So download that free credit guide, scan the QR code down below, or text guide to that number down at the bottom. All right. So then someone says, what credit score do you have to have in order to be with those companies that you mentioned? Okay. So now when we was talking about, and I've only gone to number 1 and 2. Number 1 was don't do a debt consolidation company. Okay. Don't do a debt consolidation company. You can do it yourself. Number 2, don't use money to buy a trade line. Okay. Friends, family, your kids, you could do it. Listen, you could be an authorized user on those credit cards and it will cost you nothing. Okay. Matter of fact, instead of you using that money to buy a trade line, how about you use that money to pay off a charge off? Oh, y'all, we talked about that, right? So here, let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and go. Now, it only works with a credit card charge off. So credit card charge off. Okay. So instead of using that money, you say, well, listen, I was going to pay $500 for a trade line. I wasn't going to pay that much. I was going to pay $300 for a trade line. Well, listen, y'all ain't got the money. I was going to pay $1,000 for a trade line. Let me tell you something. 90% of people that were going to buy a trade line, 90% of people that's going to buy a trade line, you can use that money. You can use that money and actually settle a debt, actually settle a charge off. Now, why am I talking about a credit card charge off? Not an auto loan. Well, technically, an auto loan charge off would be a repossession. A personal loan charge off, that can't do it with that. You can only do this with a credit card charge off. Why is this? Watch this. One word, and that is utilization. When you have a credit card and it's charged off, okay? First off, some of you guys don't know what a charge off is. We got some younger people just watching the channel. I'm glad you guys are getting started early, okay? So now watch this. So now if you have a credit card and it's charged off, what a charge off is essentially means that you did not pay them for 6 months straight. So 6 consecutive months of missed payments, not late payments. Late means they got it, but they didn't get it when it was due. We're talking about missed. You didn't pay them at all. Anytime you have an account, an auto loan, student loan, personal loan, not a mortgage loan, they don't charge it off because that's a whole nother conversation. And then 2-3 months with an auto loan, they do take it to charge off status, but they start looking for that car beforehand. But everything else, including credit cards, they're going to take this, they're going to make this into a charge off. Okay. That's how the game goes. So now when they do this, now that means that now the credit card, let me give you guys an example with numbers. Okay. Let me give you guys an example with numbers. So let's say, for example, you have a credit card and it's charged off. You have a credit card and it's charged off. And let's say the balance was, let's say $3,000. And this was a charge off. Okay. Now, here's the thing about charge offs that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of charge offs don't get sold to collection companies. I'm going to say that again. A lot of charged off accounts never get sold to collection companies. Okay. What does that mean? That means that many of you are at a low credit score because you have a credit card that's charged off and you're not paying on it. Your friend told you to just dispute it. You heard somebody on social media say just wipe it off. You over here paying, you're taking new money to go get a new situation instead of taking new money to take care of an old situation. And then you get upset, you get mad when the bank says they declined you. Let me tell you another thing about a authorized user real quick is that they can see that it's not your account. When you're an authorized user, it shows there's something that's called responsibility. That's account ownership. And typically account ownership can show individual, joint, or it can say a couple of other words next to joint. But for the most part, you're going to see individual or authorized user. Either way, they can see that it's not your account. But either way, you have a credit card that's charged off $3,000. You can use, what if you call them? What if you call them and say, hey, number one, what did you guys learn earlier? What can you call and say to them? Let's do a settlement. Now you have a settlement. They say, well, listen, we want you to pay $3,000, but since you calling us, we can go ahead and do a settlement for $1,500. And you say, you know what? Okay, let me go ahead and do that. And now you got this $500 and you put that towards the $1,500. Now you got this $1,000. You put that towards the $1,500. This is how, listen, you will get a lot more bang for your buck in most people's cases if you take that money and pay off the charge off if it is a credit card charge off. Some of you guys, listen, you're wasting money giving it to other people. Give it to the people you said you was going to pay in the first place. Listen, you guys hear that? Give it to the people you already said you was going to pay. Pay them first. Get them out the way first. Listen, everybody's using the same banks. Everybody's using Chase. Everybody's using Navy Federal. Everybody's using Capital One. Everybody's using PNC. These are the same banks. It's about the same 5, 6, 7 banks that everybody's using. If you got a card, you're more than likely going to be with those banks. If you get in a house, you're more than likely going to be with some ownership of these banks or some subsidiary of these banks. I'm telling you. So you got to make sure these relationships stay good. All right. So we got that. Now, someone had a question and they said, well, what credit score do you need to get the debt consolidation? Okay. The debt consolidation, you need at least about I would say the higher the better. But to get a debt consolidation loan, you need at least about a 620. I've seen people get approved for a personal loan with those companies with at least having about a 620. Okay. Let's keep going. And by the way, if you guys have not downloaded the free ebook, download it right here. I got the QR code right here. Scan this QR code to get the free credit guide or text guide to 708-346-5613. Okay. All right. So now let's keep going. Now, the next thing is, she says, what's the interest on the 75,000? Whatever you qualify for. Rates just came down. So that's one thing to consider too. The rates just came down. All right. Now let's go to mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is going to be opening too many accounts. Opening too many accounts. Okay. You're opening too many accounts. How do you know if you're opening too many accounts? You don't know. This is my job to tell you that you're opening too many accounts. Now, if you're the only time you're like adding a lot of accounts without caring how it's affecting your credit card, your credit report age, is if you're doing credit card stacking. And to even do credit card stacking or to even think about credit card stacking, you need to be at minimum 680 or higher, which means you're probably not watching this video. Okay. That, or at least you have a strategy 720, 750 or higher. That's a whole different situation. But many of you watch a YouTube video, they say open this account. You watch my channel. If you watch my channel, I rarely say, hey, you watching this, add this account just because. No, no, no. I always give disclaimers and I always break it down. Why? Because everyone that's watching this is in a different situation. Everyone's credit report is different. Everyone's income is different. So I make sure that everybody understands when to do it and when not to do it. Okay. So let me break this down a little bit further. Okay. Opening too many accounts. Okay. Let's talk about that. What kind of accounts can you open too many of? Number one that I'm starting to see become a really big issue is credit builders. Some of you all are adding too many credit builder accounts. How many should you have? No more than two. No more than two. Listen, we've made thousands of game plans for people. Okay. For those who don't know, a game plan is when my team and we look at your credit report thoroughly, and then you tell us what your goal is: home ownership, higher credit score, lower car payment, whatever. We tell you exactly what to do in that game plan. Okay. And we never recommend that someone add a credit builder if they already have more than two or three. It's extremely rare that are open. Okay. I'm talking about having them open. So you're having too many credit builder accounts. How many should you have? About 2 to 3. That's max. Some of y'all listen, y'all open up 4 or 5 different credit builders. Why? Why? We're gonna talk about credit builders another time. Number 2, you getting too many secured, even with unsecured credit cards. Now, here's the thing, because I know you were Calvin. You interview people all the time, and they got all these credit cards. Here's the thing. This is for people that have bad credit. That's watching this video right now. Either you or someone you know that doesn't have a good credit score. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm gonna make sure you guys get the right information. But again, you gotta make sure. You gotta make sure that you don't have too many of these accounts. How many should you have of these accounts? Well, it depends. If your credit score is under 600, so if you're under 600, you only need about maybe 1 to 2. Maybe 1 to 2. Here's why. Because if you're under 600, these are not good cards typically. It's that, like, I like a Capital One Platinum card, and everything else is going to be a waste of your money. Because what else are you getting under 600? You're getting Credit One. We're not even going to talk about them. You're getting First Premier. Come on. Come on now. First Merchant. First Premier. First Progress. Come on now. Okay. So again, that's why I'm real strict right here, because you don't need to be having too many of these accounts, guys. You can't open an account with everybody when your credit score is under 600, because everybody that does approve you, you're not going to like the terms. The terms are not going to make sense. You're going to be stuck in a bad situation. Don't do that. You're opening up too many accounts. So again, 2 to 3 credit builders, 1 to 2 credit cards. That's it. And don't spend any more than $200 on secured credit cards. We'll talk about that another time. Okay. And don't have, what else it was going to be? Yeah, don't spend more than $200 on a secured credit card. It's a waste of money. All right. So now, next, we're going to go into the next thing. All right. By the way, if you guys got the free guide, go ahead and put a number 1 in the chat. Put a number 1 in the chat if you downloaded the free guide. Make sure you guys go ahead and get that. All right. Next is going to be the next piece, and that's going to be disputing everything. This is number 4. Disputing everything. Let me tell you something. This is something you don't want to do. I'll let you know this right now. The reason why you don't want to be disputing everything is because sometimes the thing that you're disputing is going to get removed. You say, well, Calvin, why is that a bad thing? I've seen people dispute accounts that were more positive than negative. Again, so sometimes they put in the dispute wrong. She had an account that had 98% on-time payments. It was a 5-year-old account. She disputed it and it got removed. Now you lost points because she was disputing everything. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Here's another thing that people don't understand. People think that dispute means delete. Dispute does not mean delete. Dispute does not mean delete. Dispute means open up an investigation. And then if you find the information to be inaccurate, make it accurate. And if you can't make it accurate, and if it should be removed, then it should be removed within 30 days. Okay? So again, I spelled delete all wrong. I know what I'm talking about. All right. So again, dispute does not mean delete. It means open up that investigation. Okay. Another thing that people forget about disputes is that just because it does get deleted, why do I keep trying to spell it like that? I'm trying to spell it wrong. but people keep thinking that delete means that you're going to get points. People keep thinking that if they get something deleted off their credit report, they're going to always keep getting points. That's not the case with everything. Let me break down why. Any accounts that you have that are a certain age, okay, when they get closer, when it's a negative account, negative or positive, really, anything that gets closer to the 7-year removal point, anything that gets closer to that has a lower value. So a late payment that you got last month, if you get that removed, then you're going to most definitely see some points. You got a collection from last year, you get that removed, you're most definitely going to see some points. You get that repossession that's been on there for 2 years, you're most definitely going to see some movement. But as it gets around 3 years, 5 years, 6, 7, somewhere in that range, it's too old. So it doesn't have that much value. So some of you all are spending so much time like, man, I'd have been in this credit repair company. I'd have been in this credit repair company. I watched this video. I watched this video. I paid for this. I paid for that. We're not even going to talk about how much money you spent trying to get some removed. Matter of fact, let's go into it. I'm ready to talk about that. Let's talk about that. Some of you all have spent all this money trying to get this one. Let me give you guys another way of looking at it before I finish my statement. Some of you guys are spending all this money. I'm going to put $3 signs. I don't want y'all to feel bad. You're spending all this money to remove something that's $500. You got a $500 collection. You owe a company. You know you owe them. We ain't going to talk about that. Who cares? You spending all this money to make a $500 collection go away. Let me ask you a question. How much money have you spent? Some of you all have spent $500 trying to remove a $500 collection. Are you guys understanding this? Some of you all are spending or have spent. It started off at $100 a month or whatever you was paying. And you're at $500 still trying to get this collection removed. Now it's still on your credit report. You could have paid them. You could have settled it. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Here, I'm gonna keep going. Some of you all are at $1,000 spent. I know it. I've met people that have spent $1,500, $3,000 on getting their credit. Man, I'm not even gonna go into them numbers. But anyway, let's just say you at 1,000. You done bought courses. You done paid for credit repair. You done bought webinars, all kind of stuff to get this collection removed. You done spent $1,000 trying to remove a $500 collection. Add up how much you spending. I'm just saying. All right, so again, just because you dispute something doesn't mean it's going to get removed. Just because it gets removed doesn't mean you're going to get points. Just because it gets removed, people don't talk about this. People don't talk about this. Just because it gets removed doesn't mean that it won't come back. So here, just because it gets removed from your credit report doesn't mean that it won't come back. Here's the thing. And then when it comes back, guess what happens to your score? What happens to your score, guys? What happens to your score? It goes down. It goes down. Okay? So now, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. When you build your credit the right way and you're building around these things, now I'm not saying you can't dispute. I'm not saying, listen, go ahead. Dispute what you want to. Do whatever you want to do. But what I'm saying is have a backup plan. You need to be trying to get action on everything. You need to be trying to make something happen on everything. I'm gonna make sure I look at the comments so I don't miss nothing. All right. So that's what that is. Okay. That's what that is. Perfect. All right. So again, let's go ahead and do a quick recap because I know some of you guys are just joining us. All right. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and download the free workbook. Okay. Download the free credit guide. So again, make sure you guys get the free guide. So I'm going to put up here at the top, get the free guide. Okay. So make sure you guys go ahead and get the free guide. How do you guys get the free guide? You scan the QR code right here. Okay. Or you can text guide to 708-346-5613. All right. So now let's go and do a quick recap, guys. So number one, what was the first thing we talked about? Don't listen, never get a debt consolidation company. Most of them are trash. Consolidation. Oh, wait. Hold on. Spelled that wrong. It's consolidation. All right. Consolidation. Okay. Sorry. I just want to get it right. I know y'all going to talk about me anyway. All right. So that's number one. Never get a debt consolidation company. Okay. Company. There's a difference between company and loan. I don't want someone else doing this for you. I want you to do it. It's a waste of money if you have somebody else do it. Because think about it like this. They're negotiating a lower amount and they end up charging you to do it. It's a waste. And if they pay on time. Number two, what was number two? Was that paying for a trade line? Hold on, I want to make sure I got my list. Okay, yep. That was paying for a trade line. Now again, you can do whatever you want to do. Paying for a trade line. Because in most cases, when you're paying for a trade line, this means that that means you don't know them. Chances are really high that you don't even know who this person is. Chances are really high if you don't even know who this person is. If you're paying for a trade line, we're going into the holiday season. That's really risky. You do what you want to do. You say, well, Calvin, what's my alternative? Friends, family. You got kids that's over 8. Some of you all have kids over 18 that stay at home with you. The least that they can do is get a credit card and add you on it. And you can manage it for them. All right. Number three. What was number three? Number three was opening too many accounts. Okay. Opening too many accounts. Okay. That's what that is. Some of you guys getting too many accounts. You watch a video, they say, get this account. You see some on social media, they say, go get this account. You go get it. You saw a video. You did this. You get a letter in the mail. I did a video on that. Some of you all have good credit problems too. You over 680, you over 700. You ain't got to say yes to everybody. You don't have to do that. Okay, now number four is disputing everything. We just talked about that. Disputing everything. Okay, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that in any way, shape, or form. And that is disputing everything. Okay, because when you do that, that's gonna shut down a lot of things. Okay, various reasons. I can go deeper into this. You're disputing increase with from accounts that are open. People do this. They're disputing increase. Some of you all just did this week. You're disputing increase that belong to an account that you got approved for and that's open. Okay. So don't do this, guys. Never do these 4 things. Make sure you guys go to get the free credit guide. I was going to make sure I didn't miss anything inside the chat here. Was this good information? Yes or yes? Was this good information? Yes or yes? All right. So again, guys, make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Now, also too, guys, we do have a community. Okay. we do have a community. Let me show you guys about this community. So with our elite community, this is where you are around people that are just like you. Okay. These people are just like you. They want to increase their credit scores. They want to qualify for home ownership or rental property ownership. They want to be some landlords. They want to lower their car payment. They want to get high limit credit cards. Listen, I have a community. It's a private community. I'm answering your questions. My team is answering your questions. My special guests, many of them that I interview, they answer questions about business credit, Navy Federal, you name it. They're answering questions, guys. This gives you access to my private elite community. You can scan this QR code right here if you want to learn more about that. Again, guys, you get access behind the scenes access, backstage access to my interviews, and you also get access to all my courses as well. All right. But go ahead and get all that information today, guys. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to increase your credit scores. All right. But either way, elite, are you guys in the building? Go ahead and put elites if you guys are in the building right now. Go ahead and put elites if you guys are in the building right now. Shout out to Sledge is in the chat. He says credit card stacking takes strategy. Listen, absolutely. You better believe it. That's coming from somebody that's got 40 plus active credit cards. Lisa J. Stocks is in the house. All right. But again, we got 850 Club Elite. They're always in the building. They're always increasing their credit scores and they're getting closer to their credit goals. We want to help you do the same. Scan the QR code or go to 850clubelite.com. Okay. 850CLUB elite.com. All right. So either way, guys, we'll most definitely see you guys on the next video. Someone did say, is there life after bankruptcy? We're going to talk about that sometime this week. Listen, it's a lot of videos coming up. I want to make sure you got everything you need to accomplish your credit goals this year. There will be no excuses. The only excuses that you have are the excuses that you put on yourself. The videos will be here. The free information is going to be here. We got so many different things coming up, but you have to execute on this information. This channel has over 2,000 videos. You have to watch it and you have to write it down and you have to execute it. And if that doesn't work for you, we can give you a game plan. If that doesn't work for you, you can get around a community. I want to make sure that we don't just do this year. We just keep on talking about what we're going to do. We have to turn talk into action. And then when we turn action, we look back at it and say, are we on track? And you're either on track or you're off track. And my job is to get you guys back on track this year. We got plenty of time to knock out some more goals. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.